Hi there, I'm Jodie and I'm going to read you a little bit from my piece called The Understudy from the GCLS Writing Academy's Written Dreams Anthology. You can get that on Amazon and on Bella Books, and I hope that you enjoy. Chapter 1. Dry ice drifted across the darkened stage, and I sat in the front stalls, relishing the feel of the vapours on my heated cheeks. I loved the theatre. Yes, films and TV were where the fame and the money lay, but the artist inside demanded more. To stand in the spotlight and hold the heart of your audience with a line or a song took more than camera trickery or makeup. The stage was ever changing and ever still, and the performer must follow its demands. She stood, silhouetted, head to chin, her shape carved into the swirling mist. A cane jabbed into the floor from her hip, her hat obscuring her face. I took a sharp breath, waiting, as the music built up from the pit, rose up, and 1, 2, 3, the light snapped on. Left, right, spotlight, showtime. In the programme she was known as Ella. She never needed a surname. She never needed introduction. And even though performers had to bow to the stage and its rules, she always forged her own. Tall, blonde, and sculpted from the best genes, she commanded the stage, no matter who else stood upon it. She floated through the mist as if her feet didn't need to touch boards. Yes, on the stage Ella was a fusion of free spirit, a whisper of genius, and talent abundant. And I loved her, like every other doe-eyed idiot gripping their seat. "Melody," Lauren said, flicking me across the ear. She always did that, even though she knew it drove me nuts. "Shh! I'm watching." Why wasn't she staring at Ella? Everybody else was. "You can watch when you've finished in costume." Lauren tugged at my elbow. "You're on in the first scene." She glanced up at Ella, who had charged into the chorus. "Ella won't be happy if you mess up a scene now, will she?" I glared at her. "Ella wouldn't know if I was there or not." I sighed and followed her from the stalls. We slipped through the side door and I ducked, avoiding the stage manager swinging something long and spear-like. I doubt anyone would notice. "You say this every show," Lauren muttered, hopping over 2 of the stage crew, taping her white to the floor. "You've been saying it for 5 years. And it's still true." I stopped and yanked off some old tape from my trainer. 5 years in the same company, and I was still a chorus member, and my starring role being woman 3 in the second act. No matter how good I thought I was, there wasn't much talent needed to say, "But sir, I haven't seen your daughter." "We have Ella now, and it's no coincidence that the director they brought in is hanging around the backstage more." Lauren winked at me. She was 5 foot of sweetness, mousy hair, and a smile that could make anyone giggle. "You mean for the bitches?" We hurried down the narrow stairs to the dressing rooms, and I glared over at the 2 rooms next to Ella's. The 2 bitches always had a lead role, but then they'd always slept with every director they could flash plastic at. Maybe that was harsh, but think 3-inch high heels, plastered with makeup, and the desire to flatten everybody else who strayed near. So why was the director in the chorus room? Lauren thumbed at the stick-on name tag announcing that Bitch 1 was Ella's understudy, like she could ever come close. "I didn't see him in their rooms. Yet." I strode ahead and shoved open the creaky door to the chorus room. 30-odd rejects stood about in various dress, from tights to jeans, to a dress riding halfway up hairy thighs. "Will, you really need to shave." He flicked a thin, plucked eyebrow at me. "Never shave above the knee, sweetie." "Why?" I perched on a strip of wood that was our dressing table and shoved all his oily paint out of the way. "I never got that." "You will when you get a life," he said with a wink, and yanked up his frock. I picked up his base paint and held it up as he rammed 2 hairpins into his mouth. Lauren wrestled his dress over his muscular thighs, and he dabbed his sponge in the paint, slapping it onto his chiselled features. "I have a life. It's called prancing around in the background." I pulled my mouth to the side. I sounded fed up. Was I? "Maybe James will be different," he said through hairpins. "Seems nice." Lauren nodded, zipping Will into the dress. "He does. How many directors have we had that grace the trenches?" Our name for the changing rooms. "Yeah, I guess, but like the others, he'll be here until someone else better offers him a shot." Will shoved on the huge, gearish clip-on earrings. "Can you blame him? I'm reduced to dame in a pantomime." You look better in a dress than most women, I mumbled, picking up the red paint. That says a lot about you, then, Will said, ducking his sponge in and slathering his cheeks with red paint. How many women do you know have muscles like these? He flexed his biceps. Not enough, Lauren said with a snort. Would see me carrying everything. Your head of wardrobe. I held up the blue paint, leaned back against the mirror, and waved at her, hoisting up Will's heavy outer skirt. You're supposed to do heavy lifting. It's more like stage management down here. She winked at me from under the frills. I should be stage manager. I could do a better job than Brian. Will shoved the bright red wig on his head and rammed in the hairpins to secure it. Anyone could do better than Brian. The man has no class. I'll take your word for it. I threw the paints back onto the dressing table. Now I sounded bored. Bored and fed up. When had that crept up on me? Maybe I should try doing something useful. A real job. Lauren and Will stopped fussing and stared at me. I mean it. I'm 30. I'm still a chorus girl, and it would be nice not to be skid for a change. Although the thought of working in an office didn't seem like fun, but then you could get promoted in an office. I'd been in theatre since I left drama college. I'd never gotten the roles. Too butch, they told me. But the only thing butch about me was short hair. Lean, yes, but I didn't have any muscle. And again, I didn't have a lot of shape either. Just one straight line. Boyish, my mother called it, and wrinkled up her nose. I told her if she had issue with it, she should have done a better job at growing me. Melody, just try out for the role again, Will said, sticking on his false nails. James could be different. Or he could get plastic fever and I'd have wasted my effort, learning out lines that I won't get to say. Oh, defeatist, took her with fed up and bored. That wasn't like me at all. Look, they have ground you down. We get that, Lauren said, stooping and ramming a sparkly heel onto Will's size 11 foot. But we've seen you perform. You're better than an extra. And if you don't do something about it, you'll be in frilly dresses with wigs when you're 40. Will glued on his fake eyelashes. When I started, I wanted to dance, to sing. And look at me now, he fluffed up his wig. I'm Dame for a laugh. Lauren rolled her eyes. Better than 2 years ago when you were that weird lobster thing. Will nodded, eyes glazing over. That is something I shall block out. I pulled my lips together with my fingers, hoping he couldn't see me battling a snigger. Will was one of the handsomest guys. Pure leading man material. Yet he never impressed the directors. Most hated him because he was so rugged. I see you sniggering, Melody, and I'm going to ignore you. He slapped me across the shoulder with his glittery handbag. Practice the lines. I'll tell James you want to go for a lead. He smiled at me in the way that meant he was going to decide which role. Yes, Lauren clapped her hand. And you have a frog outfit to pull off. Move. I sighed and trudged over to my slither of the dressing space. I picked up the green tights and tried to muster some kind of enthusiasm. A frog. Shame I didn't get any kisses.